boys and girls, in just 2 weeks' time, hopefully you will have opened the last door on your advent calendar. Hopefully you'll have pulled some crackers, you'll have eaten some delicious food, and hopefully you'll even have got the chance to open some presents, because in 2 weeks' time, Christmas will have arrived. And at Christmas time, we all love presents. We love receiving them, we love giving them. And sometimes presents come in really big boxes. Sometimes presents come in little tiny boxes. But do you know, boys and girls, today I'm going to tell you all about the greatest gift in all of history. And it didn't come in a box. It didn't come in a bag. In fact, this present came in a way you would never ever guess. I'm going to tell you about it tonight. Last week, Emma told us about how this angel came to visit a girl called Mary. And she told Mary she'd be having a little baby. And he told her that Mary's baby would be the Son of God. Isn't that amazing? And you know, Mary might have been a little bit shocked. She might have been a little bit scared. But she trusted in God and she believed him. And sure enough, the angel was right.
9 months later, Mary was almost ready to have her baby. Now, Mary and Joseph had to take a trip to Bethlehem, the town King David was from. But when they reached the little town, they found that every room was full. Every bed was taken. Go away, the innkeepers told them. There isn't any place for you. Where would they stay? Soon Mary's baby would come. They couldn't find anywhere except an old, tumble-down stable. So they stayed where the cows and the donkeys and the horses stayed. And there, in the stable, amongst the chickens and the donkeys and the cows, in the quiet of the night, God gave the world his wonderful gift. The baby that would change the world was born, his baby son. Mary and Joseph wrapped him up to keep him warm. They made a soft bed of straw and used the animal's feeding trough as his cradle. And they gazed in wonder at God's great gift, wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger. Mary and Joseph named him Jesus, Emmanuel, which means God has come to live with us, because of course he had.
So boys and girls, this Christmas, no matter what gifts you end up getting, remember that Jesus is the greatest gift we will ever get and we could ever get.
In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are my light, my lighthouse, my
boys and girls, and welcome back for another little crafty session. So hopefully you have been successful in making all your salt dough decorations. So I'm going to show you some of mine, and then I'm going to actually show you how to do the main one, which is the one with your handprint in it. So the ones that I have decorated so far has been my Christmas tree. So you can see that. Now, if you wanted to make these shiny, you could then paint over the top of them with PVA glue or Mod Podge, and that'll make them nice and shiny. And even if you wanted to put a wee bit of glitter on them, then it'll be nice and sparkly on your tree. And there is my bell. And then my star. Now my star is a bit boring. I think it definitely needs a bit of brightening up and some glitter on it. And then we have my sheep. Okay, so my sheep is a just sitting down sheep. And then we have Mary and Joseph. Now I've done Joseph with a nice happy face. I haven't done Mary's face yet. And then we have got baby Jesus. So I painted him in yellow, and then we touched up with some brown so it looks like he's sitting on hay. So all you need to do is let your imagination go wild and paint them all different colours, nice bright colours, add glitter, do a bit of PVA glue, and that'll make it nice and shiny. But for now I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this one. So I'm going to turn you down now and we'll see what we're going to be doing next. Okay, boys and girls, so as you can see, I have a nice selection of all different colours of paints. So the more colourful this is, the better. So what I would say is we're going to get a darkish blue, and I've also got a glass of water, and that's for me to clean my brushes. So we're going to use this nice royal blue colour. Okay, I'm just making sure my brush is nice and soft before I dip it into my paint. Okay, and I'm going to paint the outside, so around my hand, this nice blue colour. So just take your time, because you want your handprint not to have any of this dark blue in it. Just whenever you get down in here between your fingers, just take your time. Now if you want to go just down along the bottom of your handprint, just so that you're framing it in a nice dark blue. Okay, so just go along that edge down there too. Now don't worry if your salt dough has bowed up, because at the end of the day we've put a hole in it so we can hang it. So you can see now that my handprint is nice and vibrant and bright in there. So it means now that you can now decorate your hands. So thumb's going to be Mary. My index finger is going to be Joseph. And then we're going to have the 3 kings, or you can just do maybe 1 or 2 kings and the shepherd. It is up to you, because this is your little handprint now, and it's up to you what way you want to design it. And then we're going to do something special here in the middle. So I'm going to get my nice light blue, and I'm going to get my flesh colour. Now if you're struggling, you don't maybe have a lot of colours, these little paints are Crayola paints, and I think they were bought in Tesco's, so, and they weren't overly expensive. So I'm maybe going to do Mary with pale blue on the bottom. So we'll do a white strip up the middle of her dress, so like that. Okay, so now what you might need to do as well is paint a little bit and come back and fill it in. I'm just going to do her face like that. And don't worry about their actual features in their face, like their eyes and their nose. You can do that with a felt tip or a Sharpie afterwards. And then we are going to give her some nice blue clothing. So we'll give her the nice pale blue colour. So nice blue down here. Okay. And we'll maybe give her a nice white headscarf as well. So I'm just going back over the top of this, because sometimes the salt dough just soaks all the paint in, so you might need to just go over it and give it a wee bit extra. Okay, the same with my white. I'm going to go over my white again, because you can see how it's just disappeared a wee bit. So just give it a wee second coat. Okay, and a nice white headscarf, so it's nice and bright against that dark blue. So don't worry about her face, we can sort her face whenever all that's nice and dry. So next one, I think we'll do Joseph. So I think Joseph will have a nice pale blue headscarf We'll maybe do his face first as well. So we'll do him with a nice pinky peachy face. Okay, and we'll give him a nice pale blue headscarf. So he's going to be the opposite to Mary. Mary's got a blue dress. Joseph's going to have a blue headscarf. Don't worry if you go out of the lines again, a wee bit, because you can always go back in with your dark blue and fill that in. So I'll go this nice bright olive green. So I'm just cleaning off my brushes. Make sure you clean all your brushes between each colour because you don't want to contaminate your paint pots. So we'll give Joseph a nice green. That is that lovely and bright. Okay, and we're going to let him dry a wee bit, and then we will give him like a nice brown belt to go around his outfit. Okay, so I think we will do a king, and I'm going to give this king a nice purple robe because purple in the Bible was a symbol of royalty and richness. Okay, so oh, look how nice and bright that is. And then I want this king to have darker skin. So I'm going to mix some paint up in on a little block here. So there's brown, some white. So hopefully that'll give us a lighter shade of brown and a different colour to the colour that we've got on the rest. So there you can see it's a bit different now. I'm leaving a gap at the top because I want to do yellow for a crown because he's our king. So I'm going to do a gold crown up here. And I'm just dabbing it so that it's not really neat. And then I'm going to give him a nice collar on his cloak. So we'll go white for his collar. Okay, like that. And then we will maybe go white down the front as well. So I'm doing it like that. I'm just poking it in so it looks like it's all textured like fur. Because he was a king. Kings always had like nice riches and things. So just keep going. So just be imaginative with it. I'm going to do mine with 3 kings. It's up to you. If you wanted to, you could do on your other hand and have all the shepherds and maybe an angel and some animals on them. I'm just going to do Mary and Joseph and the 3 kings on mine. So I want to do this one in red. Again, I'm going to do him with darker skin. So lift out my brown paint and then my white. Just get that all mixed in nicely to make a nice light colour. Okay. His wee face, and I'll do the last king here while I've got this paint. Okay, so last king, I think I'm going to do him in orange. The brighter you make this, the better. Say don't worry if you go over the lines of your fingerprint because you can always fill it in with that nice dark blue colour. Okay, I'm going to give these kings the crowns as well. we can go back over those because you can see the blue shining through a little bit, but don't worry about that. And then we'll give them nice white colours too. Go down. Okay, and whenever the kings of all are completely dry, then we'll paint on their gifts. Okay, so Joseph might be dry enough now that we can paint his outfit with a little belt on it. So we belt across here and maybe a strap down there just to make it look a bit more authentic. Okay, and then Mary's, we'll maybe do her a wee headband around hers. In fact, we should maybe do a bit of headband around Joseph's as well. Go back to our brown, do a headband across there. Okay, I'm going to do Mary's headband in the dark blue. And a wee belt on hers as well. Okay, so the last thing now we're going to do in the centre is our baby Jesus, because Jesus is the main reason for the Christmas story. So he has to be in the centre. Okay, so I'm going to paint a little face or a little head like that. And then his little swaddling cloth. So just take your time with this. Bring that up around his wee head. Like that. Paint his body. Okay. To say, don't worry about all our faces. We can add all our details whenever the paint dries. It means then that all the colours don't bleed in together. Okay, so we might need to just go over that white again whenever it has dried. And then our last thing is we're going to add in all our straw. So I'm going to paint with yellow. Now it can be quite messy because straw is messy, remember. Just remember not to go over your baby Jesus. So now you can maybe see why I didn't choose yellow for any of the king's robes. So that's baby Jesus, the start of his straw bed. Okay, and we're just going to draw like straw lines all over it. And make it look a wee bit more like straw. Okay, so you can do as little or as much as you want on this. And then if you think there's too much brown, just go back in over with your yellow. Okay. You don't need loads on your brush because you're just wanting to bring in some other colours. You can just pat it in. And again, once this is all completely dry, you can go over the top of it with PVA glue and really seal it and make it nice and shiny. Okay, and if you're still not happy with it, go in then with a few wee bits of white. Okay, and the white from baby Jesus swaddling should be dry now. So we can go over the top now and just make it look like he's actually wrapped, because that's the way Mary and Joseph did. They wrapped him and put him in his manger. Okay, so just take your time with this. Okay, So I am just going to let all that dry a wee minute. Our kings, well, they're dry enough now, so you can do your gifts. So put yellow for gold. We'll do this nice magenta colour. Frankincense, looks like a perfume bottle. And maybe a nice, let me see what other colour, turquoise. We'll do a little pouch. It looks like he's carrying a little bag. Okay, and this is now the time when you can add their facial features. So I'm just using a marker. If you have a Sharpie, anything like that would do. So if you want to do full faces on them, that is okay. I'm not very arty, so I'm just opting to do little eyes. Just doing wee lines. And it means then I don't get all stressed out that I've ruined everything by not having the right faces on them. So that is my nativity scene. Now, once everything dries completely, you can go on then and add a nice big star in the background, because it is the kings and it was the kings that followed the star. So if I hold that up, you maybe see it a bit better. And you can see there's my hole to put my hanger in there with a nice piece of ribbon or twine or something. But honestly, don't get stressed out about it. Just enjoy it and make it as colourful as you can. As I say, you could do the other hand and have your angels and shepherds and maybe a couple of animals. But tonight I'm just showing you this one with the baby Jesus. Now you can see the edges of this is quite rough. I'm sure if you were to ask a grown-up, they'd be able to help you smooth that off, maybe with a little bit of sandpaper. But I am really impressed with that, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your actual ones all made up and lovely and bright. But as I say, let everything dry. Do it in stages. I know I've kind of rushed through it a wee bit tonight, but if you do it in stages, you might get a better result. Okay, boys and girls, thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.